Since the start of COVID-19, the world turned virtual and digital. We started to hear for the first time sentences like working from home and learning online. The only possible way that people could work and learn online is by connecting to the internet. With unlimited use of the internet, our daily life threats transformed from physical attacks to cyber attacks, and cybersecurity started to be a compulsory practice to save ourselves from various risks. Today, I'm going to show you the pathway of getting into cybersecurity, and later on in other videos, I'm gonna show you some tricks and teach you some skills that help you to get into cybersecurity, or at least save you from cyber attacks on your social media profiles and bank accounts. So if you are new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel, turn the notification on, and let's get started. Before we get into it, if you are interested in taking free courses with official certification from the best professors and universities in the world, like Harvard, UTS, and many more, check my website fadiazzi.com/free courses. The password for this month will be Cybermate. Getting into cybersecurity. If you are new to this field or have a small idea, when you try to Google how to start a career in cybersecurity, you will find a lot of complex information that will blow your mind. You might hear people talking about a bunch of confusing certifications like CISM, CISP, CompTIA, and many more, but I'm here to tell you they are not important. Of course, there are many benefits of studying some certifications, but what is important is your skills and experience. In cybersecurity, the way of applying your knowledge is much more important than what you theoretically know. The only way to improve your skills is by trying and practicing. Try to install a virus and learn how it works. Try to delete a file and try to recover it. Here are the top 5 skills you must learn to get into cybersecurity. Number 1. Networking and telecommunication. This is the most important topic in cybersecurity. This is where you learn how devices communicate between each other and how data travel far distances in seconds. Understanding the difference between IP address and MAC address and their use will help you to understand how attackers think. Mastering the OSI model, that stands for Open Systems Interconnection, and understanding what each layer represents and does is critical and a must. OSI model will help you to understand how data travel from your device to Google or Facebook servers, for example, under a concept called Request, Acknowledge, Receipt. And if you have an issue with your connection, the OSI model will help you to find where the issue is. Number 2. Set up virtual machines. After learning networking, the best way to practice without affecting your computer is by set up some VMs and learn how to connect them and analyze the packets through Wireshark software or other softwares. VMs are usually referred to as guest OS, run on the top of your computer operating system that we call host OS, and can be set up with a completely different configuration. So you will have different operating systems running on one computer. The software that manages this configuration called hypervisor. There are a lot of popular hypervisors like Hyper-V, VirtualBox, and VMware. Understanding the difference between guest OS, host OS, and hypervisor will give you a wide idea about cloud computing systems, since clouding means hundreds or thousands of VMs running on a big powerful server in another location. I'm going to teach you more about this topic in a separate video, so make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn the notification on to stay up to date on every news. Number 3. Learn command language. Bash is a Unix shell and a powerful programming language. Linux OS use Bash, and Mac OS use a similar but easier version called the shell, while Windows use a different shell called PowerShell, which has a very different way of use from the Linux Bash, but with a similar concept. Why do we call it shell? The important part of the operating system is in a section called the kernel, which is the core of system. And the direct way to communicate or contact with the kernel is through its shell. That's what makes shell programming very powerful, because it's with direct contact with the kernel. Let's take the egg as an example. We have the yolk and the white covered with the shell, and the only way to get into the core is by breaking the shell. Number 4. System management. Understanding system administration and what PID represents is very important. It will teach you when to communicate with the shell and when to communicate with the end software. Let's take a company as an example. The way you talk with your colleague friend is different than the way you talk with your manager, different than the way you talk with the CEO of the company. Understanding the position of each person will make your idea clear on the way of communication with every one of them. Same with the computer system. PID indicates the position rank of each software. This will lead you to know how to talk with each software. For instance, messing with the kernel is a high-risk chat since any wrong command can lead to a severe consequence, while playing around a normal software is a low-risk chat because in the worst-case scenario, you can restart your system or remove then install that software again. Number 5. Practicing basics of cybersecurity. Nowadays, cybersecurity tools are getting popular. You can start by yourself. Turn on the 2FA or MFA for your accounts. Change the password every few months. Use a very hard password with lowercase and uppercase letters, numbers and symbols. And the most important point, use different passwords for different accounts, or at least for your important ones. Many other free tools are available on the internet to start with cybersecurity. But when you first start learning, you will notice that the cybersecurity field is divided into different teams. You might hear a bunch of teams with hat color: black hat, white hat, gray hat, and green hat. As a cybersecurity engineer, I want to tell you that these namings are not so accurate. The most famous teams in cybersecurity are two. Red Hat team, which is the offensive team. Its job is to try to find the weak points in the system and expose them. In this way, the company will know its weak points and try to fix and improve them. On another hand, we have the Blue Hat team, which is the defensive team. Its job is to reduce the risk and weaknesses to the closest point to zero. Usually, the Red Hat team detect the flaws and report them to the Blue team, but sometimes a misunderstanding happens. That's exactly why nowadays we are starting to hear more often of a Purple team. The Purple team is a combination of Red and Blue team, and they know both skills. Their job is to facilitate the communications between the two teams. In a summary, the Red team exists to attack, the Blue team is there to defend, while Purple team is optional and their job is to support the communication process between Red and Blue teams.
Data, client data, email servers, account numbers, it's all up for sale to the highest bidder if we don't pay now. What do you want us to do? Bruce, what do you want us to do?
Checkmate.
In the end, I would like to mention that cybersecurity needs skills and experience. The only way to improve yourself is by practicing. Remember in the second point, I explained about VMs. Set up a VM and try to practice inside it so you don't affect your system. Hope this video was informative to you. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe and turn the notification on for more content. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.